Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets, and a reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream audience. So we very much appreciate you guys being here, and if you could hit the like and subscribe button before we get started. As you guys know, really means a lot to us, and it means a lot to the algo as well. That I think the algo is starting to take a liking to us. So we've been putting up some pretty it's like the Kyrie and LeBron James meme where they both threw up like the 45 points in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. That's what our daily live streams have been as far as the likes that we've been putting up. So if you guys have been enjoying the content, just make sure to leave a like on the video. We will appreciate it. Just a reminder, I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max Tucker and Dr. Will's Outlook. Excited for yet another day of bringing you guys market commentary. It is Wednesday, hump day. It's the middle of the week. Hopefully you guys have had a pretty good start to your trading week. We've had a lot of volatility, so there's been a lot of opportunity for pretty much everybody, right? Bulls and bears. We had a little bit of a dump yesterday over in the crypto market. We've had a really nice buyback simultaneously that's been available for all the bulls who were not, hopefully you were not liquidated by a move like yesterday. Otherwise, I think the bull run might be a little bit tricky for you. But simultaneously over in stocks, we've had a lot of opportunity over there as well. Indices just continue their steady grind higher, just destroying shorts and providing opportunity through individual assets. That's something that we've been kind of harping on here over the last few weeks, that there was going to be phenomenal opportunity in individuals. Even if indexes, did whatever they wanted to do, individuals would provide plenty of clean trade setups. We can see that on Tesla, for example. You can see that on Target. Max has talked about that on the show as well. So shout out to Max for a great call out there. But yeah, no, opportunities abound. I think that's the theme of the market. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for as a trader, all you can ask for as a market participant. And we're going to be doing our best to break down, maybe some future opportunities that we can all maybe partake in a little bit, down the road, right? Because I don't think these opportunities are going anywhere. I don't think this volatility is going anywhere. It seems that the market is beginning to really tick up here into December, into Q4, ahead of the quote unquote Christmas rally. Good morning, guys. What are we seeing in the markets today? I love all the opportunity that I'm seeing today.
Dude, Caspa is tearing today, man. Caspa is tearing today. Absolutely insane move, man. Just parabolic. Everybody's underexposed except probably Sisu, man. Sisu's one of our boys, man. He's in the BB Discord with us. He's been in Caspa since like 10x ago at least. Pretty sure he like shoved his net worth into it too. So congrats to Sisu. Jackus is going to be here in 5 minutes. I know Jackus took a long trade on it. I think he covered it this morning, probably just recently. He sniped the bottom on that last little drop. But yeah, man, you love to see it. You love to see the buyback. Who could have foreseen? I saw a lot of fear on the timeline yesterday. I put out a little video on my own Twitter, and I said, look, this is a perfectly healthy retest of trend, buying this dip. I was texting Tommy. I was texting Tucker. I put it in my active positions channel. I shoved some spot ETH down at 1970. Who could have foreseen .ETH? And what else is there to say? We're in a dip buying environment. You guys know it. I know it. But everybody has this bear market trauma that they're carrying with themselves where they feel as though every dump after a pump is about to take us to new lows. And the market has materially shifted. One thing to note, though, is that the Matic market makers should go to Guantanamo Bay. Terrible. But I also did hit I don't want to talk about it yet. We'll talk about Target later on in the show. But let me just, how every single show I badger you guys to like the content and then subscribe. And then at the very end, I go, and also, if you really enjoyed the content, check out the first link in the description below because we hold back some premium content just for the Discord. And we share all of our active positions. So if you want to take your trading to the next level, join, I say that whole spiel. So this was one of those where I held back this target play and the Discord got in it and we're up about 300% on it. And I have a feeling we're going to be up a lot more in the very, very near future. So this is a prime example of why everybody should be in the Discord. And I'm going to give a rundown on that play. I'm going to give a rundown on that play, actually. Should we do it right now? I kind of want to do it right now.
Let's do it.
I don't want to talk about it right now. All right.
No. Let's save it. Let's save it because
You want to save it?
we haven't got enough likes. We haven't got enough likes to talk about it.
Yeah.
They got to
Yeah,
earn
yeah,
that,
yeah.
Will. They got to earn that.
That's a good point, Will. That's a good point.
We have to start doing that. Otherwise, they're just going to be getting freebies for nothing.
True, but
I mean,
they already
granted,
missed
it doesn't
the freebie
cost
by
them
not being in the
anything.
Discord. Will, that's what I was saying. Is
Yeah,
I was going to
but
say, look, you guys got to join the Discord so you don't miss this, because this is precisely what I'm talking about. Is we share like 90% of our stuff here, but we hold back about 10% just for the Discord, man. And this is one of those plays. This is one of those plays. So I wanted to just
they're getting a lot of value for free max, and I know you want to throw it out there, you want to show it, but if they want to see how juicy it was, then they need to bump it up.
Saberstein is one of our members. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Saberstein took that target play with us. And I appreciate that comment, Saberstein. True, that one call with one contract paid for nearly 2 months of Discord membership. It's true. It's true. And it's going to pay for a lot more if you keep holding them.
No more alpha. No more real alpha until likes start getting up. And we'll discuss markets, but that's all you guys are getting until we start seeing higher likes.
Jackus, a wild Jackus.
This is a good point.
I like what Will was just talking about.
This is a fair statement.
You learned the meta.
It is a fair statement.
They did well.
Look at this. Another comment from Alan, man. Alan took that play with us too. He's one of our he's one of our Giga Chads, man, in the Discord.
That still in the free month.
And I'm still in the free month, man.
Still in the free month.
Dude, we're giving away 30-day free memberships, which is like the most bear market thing ever, man, to give away a 30-day membership to a Discord. We're still doing it. And all of our members who've tried it for free, look at this. He's still in his free month. Our boy Alan printed, man. So I'm just saying. Usually I show the Discord at the end, but you guys should really check it out. You guys should really check it out. We're giving away. We hold back the 10% just for the Discord, all right? But guys, before we really get into it, if we could please oblige Tommy, and I know we're going to have to oblige and appease Jackus as well, man. That greedy Jackus, he just wants all the likes for himself, man. He just wants so many likes. He's so demanding. But, if you want to see him cook, we got to get these likes up. So, guys, we got 30 likes on the stream already. That's fantastic. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please hit that thumbs up button for us. Let's see if we can run it to 40 likes real quick, and then we'll work on 50, 60, 70. Maybe we'll even hit 100 today. Who knows? So, guys, please consider liking the content. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. We're live 5 days a week. This is Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern time. Oh, look at this. Another one. I'm also on free month, over 200% on target call. Guys, what else do we need to show you? Well, I'm going to show them the play right now, man. I can't wait anymore.
No.
I have to show them. They already missed it, man. I got to show them.
Yeah, it already happened. It already happened. It's all good.
I have to show them, okay?
Yeah, but they're sitting here right now, like itching to wonder what it was.
They can buy that's true. They can buy the contracts up 300% from the Giga Chads.
No, it's not about that. They just want to know. That's what it's the curiosity.
That's true.
That gets people. That's what it is. It's not did I miss it or can I get in on it?
That's true. All right, so here's what we were looking at, guys. So this wasn't here. This wasn't here. We were looking at this right here. We recognized that Target was down from its all-time high, 61%. And it was trading at 1/3 of the earnings multiple that its competitor Walmart is. I know it's slightly different, but I mean, Walmart is very much so a competitor of Target. So it's trading at 1/3 the earnings multiple of Walmart, down 60% off the high. And it came back from its 2019 low. This is multiple years of price action, high time frame point of control right here. We're sitting here. And I said, guys, it is unambiguously time, without a shadow of a doubt, to shove at this high time frame point of control. They have earnings on the 15th. All right. So we were buying this point of control, sized into some contracts, real nice. I'm going to post the options profit calculator now that you guys have seen the play. We're going to put this up here. So here's the options profit calculator right here. If we can see target go up here to these, like up into this gap, which is 190, it's a basically 3,200 to 3,000% winner. If we pull off something crazy and we actually go, which I think is possible, by the way, with equities looking like they are up here and fill the gap entirely, it's a 5,500% winner on these contracts.
Now, Max, for those who don't like to do math, how many X's is that? Let's put that in X format for them.
Yeah, I mean it's like a 50X, you know?
That's a pretty good X, man. That's
50,
what I'm saying.
60X. And here's another point of confluence that I want to talk about. I was comparing it also to the meta fractal. If you see what happened, this is target on the left, meta on the right. You can see that we printed a very similar capitulation structure. So I think this fractal is actually from target. It's not from meta. It's from over here on target. But we're looking at this fractal, and target was one that's just completely completely distressed, lagging behind all of its competitors. And I think it's actually primed to do what meta did here. So again, if we go up here, we pull the meta fractal, we have until June 21st on these contracts, guys. The entire Because Bitcoin community in Discord has until June 21st. We're already up 300% on these contracts.
Max,
we have until next summer.
Max, I have to interrupt. Look in the chat.
Oh my gosh, man! Look at
I had to interrupt. I'm sorry, man.
That's our biggest super chat ever, man. I know it's rude,
but
this is from Ozil, man. One of our Giga chats, man. On Monday, while market was red and my portfolio was green, BB said market will be going up this week, and now we are enjoying the show. You are losing money not subscribing for free, man. Ozil, that is $50, man. Ozil, that is way too generous, man. That is way too generous. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm happy you're printing on the calls, man. So we're up 3x on these calls already. We bought them at the literal low, and we have until June 21st. If we pull off this fractal here, we don't even have to go to 220, right? We could go to 200. It's a 50x on these contracts, man. That's the value of the Discord. That is why I keep saying it's free for 30 days. Okay. A lot of these guys in here that are printing on these calls in the chat, they're still on their free trials, and they're printing, absolutely printing.
And they still have the opportunity if they want to not charge their card if they don't want to continue making money. That's perfectly okay.
Absolutely, they could. So anyways, this is the target play. I'm looking for at least these equal highs right here. Perhaps we pull off the meta fractal, but we scooped some contracts at the low. We got the earnings pop, and I am expecting vertical accumulation from here. I believe going into the holiday season, they're probably primed to have a very stellar Q4. And Wall Street was dramatically underestimating what Target's capable of and not recognizing that they were trading, they were trading at 1/3 the earnings multiple of one of their closest competitors. So anyways, I'm expecting vertical accumulation, and I also think that the tailwind of the S&P 500 and NASDAQ probably going to all-time highs early in Q1 is going to act as a major tailwind and catalyst for Target. So expecting vertical accumulation. I'll probably start unloading these at 185 to 200, and we'll be in the 3,000 to 5,000% winner category from there, guys. And I'll tell you, I didn't buy one contract, I bought a lot more than that. But anyways, I just wanted to share that. Ozil, thank you again so much, man. I'm gonna put this back up here. $50, man. That's the biggest super chat we've ever had. Thank you so much. Maybe we could do I wonder if we could do like a discounted year. Maybe we should do a lifetime option or something, man. I don't know.
No. What it is, you should do no lifetimes. That never works out. Just do a discounted year. If they pay up front for the
discounted year,
they get a little bit off, right? That's always
all right. So it's $149.99 a month. So times 12, that's $1,800 a year. So maybe we do like $1,350 or something for the whole year.
That's actually a really clean discount. That's actually cheaper than what I was thinking.
Dude, it's
hang on. I'm gonna have to run some.
You guys got to talk about that.
Yeah, everybody slow it down.
It's just so much value, man. Like you have all of us, literally none of us we don't make money from because Bitcoin yet. Like we're all full-time traders sharing all of our positions, man. It's literally, I just don't know if I want to discount it. I actually want to increase the price. I don't know.
For those who don't know, like this is a startup. Like actively, most startups are losing money year over year, right? Like they're trying to gain or catch up with. And I mean, practically, I would say arguably the value that we try to provide is well beyond the value of what we're actually asking for investors. Like, and somebody like Ozil, he's been a follower of me for a long time. And like he's been through a couple different places that, you know, we literally just scalp their community to extremes as far as monthly fees. Like I would say what your 150 max is very fair in price and far below what I see most places.
It seems so fair, especially 2 hours a day of live calls. But anyways, we'll stop talking about the Discord for now. We'll get back into it. We'll get back into it at the end of the stream, of course. But let's Oh, see, this is okay. So I put this on there just to see if somebody wants to like come on the show and stuff and like, you know, talk about like promote their own stuff. They can pay that, but like it's not like, I mean, technically you'd get full access. I just put that on there if like sponsors want to like, you know, come on or like promote an individual's channel. Like if you're trying to like grow your own brand, you know, you could partner with us and stuff. But the YouTube discount is like a couple bucks or something like that. We just threw one on there.
I was interested if we got a chance there, Max. Champs, the name. I'm not sure like what, maybe I'm misreading. It says misleading investors again 1 hour ago. Squawk on the street. I think he's talking about Squawk on the street. TGT topped Wall Street expectations with blowout earnings results despite its second straight quarter of comparable sales decline.
Yeah, the sales declines, it doesn't matter. It's what the market is anticipating or expecting. It's not good that sales are declining, but if the market is overly doomer about their forecasts, it's just about beating expectations. That's all that these earnings plays are, is just beating expectations. So their business could be deteriorating, but if the street thinks that it's deteriorating faster than it is, it still goes up.
What you're saying, Max, is key, and I think this is where a lot of people get confused or they get lost in the sauce, and that's they tend to think, oh, sales decline, bad investment. But the reality is you could be at the bottom of the curve where sales are starting to slow their declining, right? So your decline previous month was a 25% drop, but this month it was only 5 to 6% drop. And now investors are looking at like maybe Wall Street overreacted on a sell-off, and now we're in a value range and they want to buy into that value range.
Exactly. Now look at this here. If you can see this at the bottom, guys, it's a little small. EPS, 42% above expectations. That's all that matters, is the stock was down because expectations were bad. Now we have to readjust. It's that simple.
He said Jim Cramer was saying it was too high.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, tune into market.
We know how that
not
results.
Mad Money, man. Tune into market. I want to talk about ETH real quick, guys. So this is why I had conviction. I also gave out this play in the Discord. I bought a bunch more ETH at 1970 yesterday and pinged the entire Discord about it. All right. This is looking like a breakout to me. Look at this 2-week SR, the highest 2-week close. A lot of people sleep on the 2-week chart, guys. I'm telling you right here. This is free alpha now. Don't sleep on the 2-week chart. A lot of people like to sleep on it. I don't know why. There's so much alpha in the 2-week chart. If you draw a horizontal line from the highest 2-week closes that we've had, 2-week SR right here, it's the horizontal line, not the diagonal one. You can see exactly where we came back to tag yesterday. Look at where we bottomed. I'm going to zoom in more. Look at that. Who could have foreseen? You know, who could have foreseen? So we're looking at all this and we're holding this 2-week SR level, and we reclaimed after, in my opinion, this is a major deviation of this trend line, major bear trap. And now we're holding above this 2-week SR level. This is a breakout, guys. This is a breakout. Like we're gonna do this. You know, and I don't know how high we go, but we're breaking out right now. Like we're accumulating.
They will not.
Oh yeah. Also, we got to give this to Tommy, man. Tommy printed on that. That was absolutely fantastic. He was a lone wolf yesterday, man. I didn't want to believe we would nuke. I mean, we didn't really nuke, right? We flushed, but yeah, Tommy absolutely called that. I did give Tommy his congrats over text. I said nice call, Tommy.
Show him where Tommy got short, man.
Tommy made the call.
I will.
But I definitely agreed with him yesterday.
All right, here's where Tommy got short, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to draw this because I after I was looking at why, and I was like, this is probably why. There was a point of control right here. I don't know if that's why you got short, Tommy, but Tommy literally got short. Right, he was the Wix, man. This was Tommy. That was actually him.
A wild Snorlax blocks your path.
Blocks your path.
Yeah. Tommy, tell him about the trade.
We didn't cover the Pico bottom, but we covered fairly close to it, so I'm pretty happy with that too. Given that we've just like ripped this morning, I was not expecting this aggressive of a bounce.
Yeah, no, it was a banger trade, man. Absolutely banger trade. All right, what else, boys? Should we call it here?
Bro, I have some alpha this morning outside of Jackets' alpha that I would like to drop, but I want to see those like buttons. Where are we at right now?
Well, how many likes do you need to drop your alpha, man? That's the real question.
Look, I'm cheaper than Jackets, guys. So I'm going to probably go with probably like 60, 55. I might even be willing to negotiate.
We're at 49 right now, man. That's pretty good.
So if we can get in those ranges, we can start discussing what I think is kind of happening here and what I think the rotation, between different asset classes can be.
I like that.
You're looking for an opportunity to exploit.
I like your cap.
What? My cat?
Your cap. Like.
Oh, my cap. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I know a lot of people will be like, they probably think it's just a normie. It's some real stuff. Like I got some real stuff that
All right, Will, let's see it, man. We got
we can get up there,
We're at 51, man. We're at 51. Guys, if you haven't liked the stream yet, please consider helping the channel and just taking one quick moment, hitting that thumbs up button for us. We got 64 people watching. We got 51 likes on the video. Let's see if we can get a few more likes in here, and then Will is going to share his alpha. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And also, if you're new here, this is Because Bitcoin. This is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We go live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern time. A lot of regulars, but yeah, guys, please hit that thumbs up button for us. It really helps push the content. Thank you guys so much again for being here. Will, let's get your stream ready, man, because they're closing in on it, man. They're closing in on the
set up right now as we speak.
I bet they get so annoyed with us just badgering them to like the stream, but then they don't tune out because we're just alpha dumping, so they put up with us and we're just annoying, but it's fine.
Sorry, you guys got to tolerate it. And look, we're not even asking much. We're literally just asking you to push a button. That's it.
In between all of the alpha dump, it's just, hey guys, like the stream, please, and subscribe. We just come on here to just talk charts and just ask you to like the stream. All right, Will, let's get you up, man. Ready?
Yeah. Let me do percent. All right. Now I'm set.
All right, Will. Dump it, man.
So kind of what I wanted to get into is kind of similar to what we have going on over here, what we had going on with SPY. And I talked about SPY Bitcoin up here, and I'm talking now about SPY Bitcoin down here prior to the halving, so on and so forth. You can see right here, this was the halving essentially for Bitcoin. Right, and here, that was where you started to come out, and stocks kind of led the rally as Bitcoin kind of chased, right? So if you were looking to catch up to higher beta plays, essentially, you could have taken the upside over here or the flip and switch somewhere's in here And really what I think is kind of going on, and I told you guys this last time, I think we're kind of lagging somewhere in here when it comes to SPY. And so I think we're going to do one of these.
Zoom in a little bit, Will, just so we can see. It's a little far out.
Yeah. I was just trying to
there we go.
give the prior market.
Much better. There we go. Perfect.
So what I was looking for was kind of like where can we see the switch where crypto will outperform stocks versus stocks outperforming crypto? Because as of right now, stocks are outperforming crypto, flat out. Whether people want to admit that or not, stocks are outperforming crypto. So we need to know when the flip and switch is going to happen where crypto will start to outperform stocks. And it tends to come somewhere, you know, I would say periodically during or after the halving. That's where you start to see crypto start to show its face or start to show strength. But the funny thing is like you'll notice here, crypto will top somewhere's mid-market while stocks will continue pushing higher, right? And this is where a lot of people get it, or basically get it wrong, is they don't know how to rotate the asset. And so if we look here, you get your top end in crypto, you get your roll down. And if stocks are continuing up, you can expect that crypto will probably again try to grab liquidity, right? And that's basically what happened last cycle in 2021. Is crypto came in and grabbed liquidity at the high because stocks continue pushing through. Now, if we look over here at 17, this right here was the high in 17. But if you look at the mark high here on this one, and you look at the mark high here on this one, we didn't really see much more upside for stocks, right? Stocks kind of ran more or less sideways. And so what that did is that caused crypto, if you paid attention here, that was your move for stocks. So crypto never saw another high. Crypto essentially just blew off top, imploded, and came back down. Stocks went sideways. So if we're anticipating this thing to come up and implode or do something like this, right? Like it has been, and then eventually come back, then I would expect, and it can deviate. I would expect something like this later, right? Later. But what that would do is that would cause this crypto market to be one of these versus a double top scenario again.
So like 50K back to 30K and then new bull market.
Essentially 50K, 30K, roll up, new bull market, 100 and something K, and then roll over. But it's going to be a peak to trough, right? It's going to be a high to a low with no double top.
Hey, Will, I got a question about that. So I've been thinking about this, and it stems from Jackus's thesis of, you know, comparing and contrasting Bitcoin and ETH to gold and silver. And what we typically see when equities have like a major nuke or bear market is the knee-jerk reaction on commodities, specifically gold, is down. When equities sell, everything sells. However, gold is very quick to recover and enter a bull market. So my thought here is when equities are at all-time highs and we actually get the recession and we go on to make a new low, is it possible at that point that Bitcoin's at 48 to 50K, their knee-jerk reaction similarly to how gold has behaved during previous equity market recessions, Bitcoin nukes from 50K to 30K, and then it goes to all-time high, but doesn't go on to retrace from there because it decouples from equities and trades like gold?
I mean, we'll see at the end of the day. The pattern I'm seeing with gold here, at least in my thoughts, and it's a little bit different, but probably similar to what Jackus is seeing, is I'm seeing consolidation, breakout, right? And then I think, again, we're looking at consolidation, and I think it's going to be breakout again. And it's a matter of when, not if. And it's just the next leg up. I mean, really, we could take this right here and kind of like overlap it in a sense with the bars pattern like this and be like, all right, what do we get? Hold on, let me actually get rid of that one. Let me go with something a little more soluble. what do we get? And then that brings us up, to maybe the 3K or something like that gold. But you'll see here, if we end up trading up like this, and to me, it would be a drive pattern. So it'd be a 1, and then you got essentially, now this is the higher time frame, you got a 2, and then you got a 3 drive pattern, right? And you get a 3, and that's your final move, and then you're gonna consolidate and capitulate for a long period of time. Now you get the commodities market, like what Jack is saying, right? Which is the breakout over here somewhere. I mean, that could happen earlier too. But you get the eventual breakout over here, sideways price action, everybody's in, everybody's freaking out, talking about how gold this and that, and then somewhere's over here 20, whatever date this is, 2030 or whatnot, you get the pullback prior to zone 2 again before you end up getting any type of breakout, or maybe even a pullback even deeper. We'd have to see how that'd work out, but I would think it'd be something like this. I don't think gold trades significantly higher, and also more due to the manipulation in that market specifically. But look at this from a higher time frame. Tell me how beautiful that looks from a higher time frame.
Yeah.
From a 3 drive pattern, higher time frame, that looks absolutely amazing. And then on top of that, you wouldn't even like all of this once you get to here. Like people wouldn't even be looking at the consolidation. They would just think that this is just a straight rip. But you have a very similar move over here. Like you got the consolidation here. You got the consolidation kind of in here. You almost got a little bit of a higher consolidation range up here. And then you got, your blow off into a pullback into the previous consolidation. This could happen too, right? So boom, check 1, check 2, check 3, blow off, pullback. So check 1, check 2, check 3, and then maybe this goes blow off, pull back to zone 3, right? Something like that. That could happen too. Those are the 2 scenarios I could see kind of playing out as far as like where gold goes. But I think gold is up, right? And it's going to go up. And it's going to be the same thing for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to trade, in my opinion, somewhere's around 100 something K, and then from there we're probably looking at pulling back into like the 30s or 40s or 50s. It's hard to really tell like what that pullback would look like, but we could trade up here to 100K, maybe pull back into the mid range somewhere's in here, get people super beared up, thinking we're coming back to 30, and then pull out around 40, right? You get your consolidation range somewhere's in here with a breakout move, and it would be the same drive as gold, right? So essentially you had, and I'll point this out too so everybody can see it, 1, and then you had drive 2, and then you'll have basically drive 3, right? And that'll be your 3rd drive right there. Now, if I were a betting person and we were to say that this was a 3 drive and it does what gold does, then I would expect that this cycle won't be the cycle of the breakout. It'll be the next cycle, the 2030 cycle, right? Roughly around that 2030 cycle, right? 28, whatever the halving is around that time frame. It would be that cycle that would be the exponentials, not this cycle. But you'll still make money this cycle, a lot of money this cycle, right? It's just you're not going to make as much as what a lot of people think you are. This is the final capitulation where institutions are starting to take place, right? And then once institutions start to take place, a lot of people expect some kind of massive crash, capitulation, so on and so forth. And it will happen at the peak, but then they'll pull back, they'll get their value range, and then they'll sweep it really high. And then once they sweep it really high, then it's over, right? Then you're coming back and you're revisiting zone 3. That's your pull of liquidity for the market. But this takes time. Again, I think that's your 2030, 2028 range where you'll see that actual this whole thing come to fruition. So we still have tons of time to enter these markets. We're gonna see another bear. I can put money on it. We're gonna see another bear. And then we're gonna.
Here's the beauty of trading markets: is you can put money on it, and you will put money on it.
And I will put money on it, and I will sell. Look. You guys are gonna see me active, like, hey, it's over, and then people are gonna be like, you're this, you're that, blah blah blah, and I'm like, all right, we'll see, and we will see, because I've been playing this market a long time, and I have full confidence in exiting these moves. Like,
Will, where's Bitcoin going next bull market?
I think if we're moving into next bull, 100, 140, somewhere in
So
there.
here's one thing I want to get your thoughts on, Will, is that I either think that Bitcoin gets stuffed just before 100K, or we slice through it like a hot knife through butter.
I'm more on the latter. We slice through it. We get people really coming in, right? The 250K narrative starts coming up.
Yeah.
And we
the
stop
Bitcoin trading at parity with gold narrative, 600K per coin, that comes
there
back.
You go. You're getting it. Look. If they were to trade the high here, arguably they're going to be shooting for 250, 300, right? This is what you will see in the next bull. Guarantee it. We can clip this, we can snip it. You're going to see people draw a trend line like this, and they're going to say it's going to here.
Yep.
And we can see what price that is, right? We can all see what price that is. That's sitting around 300, 250K. That's what people are going to be betting on.
The Dr. Will's outlook is dumping at 120 to 150.
I'm out. And look, if I'm wrong, it still will come back below my price range. So it doesn't matter.
You can leave a runner on. You could leave a runner on too. Small.
I always do. I left runners last market and lost my ass on them, but I still made more money than I lost.
Yeah. It's a good hedge for insanity is what it is, leaving a runner on. And that's important in crypto because the amount of people that they dumped a generational wealth bag for a 3x. We've all been there, man. We've all been there.
That's all.
Island, man. Tommy's been there numerous times this year.
About Pepe and ticker Bitcoin earlier this year. I fumbled.
Bro, Snorlax. Look, I don't care how much you fumbled it. You found it, Look, Tommy, you found it. That's the point for me at the end of the day. You found it. And a lot of people won't recognize that over did you fumble or not. And Tommy, I do.
Tell them what market cap you bought both of those at.
Oh man, I bought Pepe at 400K and ticker Bitcoin at 110K market caps. Man, that's not even a joke either.
With size
that early.
with size, people.
Tommy was in too early for his own good. It would have been better if you found Pepe at like 2 million, Tommy.
Well, there is something to that, and it's the whole you need to let the lore or the culture kind of develop within the coin, right? In the community to know exactly how much staying power and how sticky the narrative can actually be. You need to see a little bit of autism from the community before you just have the blind conviction to be holding for 100x. But I was so early that I was literally, back then when we were literally just trading coins with the dumbest tickers and it was you're just trading for multiples, and then I wake up the next day and everybody in the Discord is talking about buying, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to sell. I'm up 5 or 6x. Oh, it's okay though. It's okay. There are a lot of opportunities in crypto at the end of the day, right? And especially if Bitcoin and ETH are going to trade higher, then there's going to be an insane amount of opportunities in the on-chain market again. So
on-chain's been pretty weak lately, Tommy, wouldn't you say?
It has, and I think that a lot of it has to do with the wealth effect. When Bitcoin and ETH went from 19, 20K up to 32, that's really when, or 32, and then I think it was 2100, 2200. That was really the first time that you saw on-chain. There were spurts before that, but it really popped off in April, May, and to a lesser extent at the end of March after, assets that everybody was holding in crypto, had a big upswing. So it's almost kind of like this wealth effect thing where you need people to have a bit more money in their pockets in crypto before they start, degeneratively speculating on chain. And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point. So I feel like when Bitcoin and ETH trade higher, the on-chain rotation will eventually come back. But right now it is a bit of a meat grinder.
And so on-chain, we were talking about, Pepe and ticker Bitcoin, two of our favorites in the community. We've all made money playing with them this year. But you said, I agree with you, we need that next push, that wealth effect where people really start chasing returns, chasing beta. What do you think those levels are? What level do you think ETH and Bitcoin need to break through in order to see that on-chain rotation?
That's kind of probably above mid 40s for Bitcoin. And I think you see on-chain speculation come back. I'm not sure what the level is on ETH, probably like 2,600. You see those levels trade. I think we see on-chain come back because at that point, people are going to be looking for what has the highest beta, right? I mean, what has the highest potential for return. And I think at that point, a lot of exchange altcoins will probably run pretty aggressively. So people will be looking for on-chain assets to be allocating to.
And also in regards to chasing beta, I've said this before on this show. When ETH gets to those levels that Tommy mentioned, you'll see the on-chain rotation. When Bitcoin's above 40K, you'll see the Bitcoin miner rotation, and people will chase beta that way. Bitcoin miners are basically on-chain for Bitcoin, is how I like to think about it.
So I have a question for you guys. If you are a Bitcoin miner and you are trying to drive activity to Bitcoin for that hash rate, what would you do? And I would be pushing the crap out of ordinals. I think that's an area that probably hasn't caught a rotation yet that will over the next few months.
I think ordinals plays for its own reasons, but like if I were on a hash rate play and I was a miner, wink wink, I would do exactly what they've been doing, and that's dumping their stock and holding their Bitcoin. And this is why I tell people like miners is kind of it's a really throw up or toss up type play, because you're going to get jacked on one side or the other, right? Either you're in crypto, you got direct exposure to the asset of Bitcoin and you're losing because they're crushing you on that side, or you're in the stock trying to get beta without being exposed to Bitcoin and you're getting crushed on the stock side because they're trying to hold their Bitcoin. And this is always the catch 22 with these miner companies is nobody expects that they will sell their stock, right? They will sell their stock to stay afloat, just like they will sell their Bitcoin. All they've done, stocks have actually manipulated the market. Think about it. They have two sell sides. They have the sell side of Bitcoin and they have the sell side of the stock. So they can sell both those sides through the floor until they run out of them, right? Now, granted, Bitcoin has a limited supply, so they have to watch their supply and not let it get too low. But when it comes to their stock, they start doing splits and all kinds of funny business, start trying to run it up, manipulate it. Like, it can run up, but I think those stocks will also implode with the Bitcoin market when it implodes.
It would make sense that they start selling Bitcoin when it's top and then start buying back their shares with those profits from Bitcoin.
Correct. Yeah. Then that's what I would see. I would see in the bear market, they would start to reaccumulate their stock to only sell it again later to stay afloat. It's a catch-22 market. And this is why using miners as a way to get exposure to the market is nowhere near as good as just owning the asset. And that's just my opinion, right? If you want to be exposed, buy directly. Don't do it through miners. Like, miners are they're a company, they're a business that has to stay afloat and they have bills. They have bills. And we've talked about it before too, Tommy, where all these altcoins have bills. They have teams, they have founders, they have bills to pay, they have to dump their token. It has to happen.
Gotta dump it on you.
They have to dump it on you. They got to get you in, they got to dump it on you. And I know that sounds horrible, right? But in a bull market, these factors don't matter. In a bear market, they matter very much, because that just tells you how much more downside you could see from these. And that's why they see 99x down and so on and so forth, is these companies see the writing on the wall. They're like, all right, just dump the entire foundation amount on everybody's heads, and then we'll pretend like it wasn't our wallet. And then later on, we'll say we're building.
There was what was that quote? There was a mistake that occurred in a wallet that I controlled.
Yeah.
Oh man,
a white hat hacker found an exploit, and we paid them 80% of the liquidity for finding the exploit.
I forgot about that one, Tommy. That was like my favorite, man. It's just the worst. Just the worst, man. A wallet that I control. Okay, so you messed up. You did something wrong because you
connected to some site.
I will say with the Bitcoin miner rotation, before we kind of move on from it, with any beta, it's about timing. And I think if you get the timing wrong, you can get wrecked. But I know some friends who got who caught the Bitcoin miner rotation and some very cheap options, last cycle, and they made a killing off that. Actually, even more than they did off any other crypto bag, any altcoin. They just did it playing really, really cheap Bitcoin miner options, but it does come with a fair bit of risk for the reasons that Will was mentioning, right? They could dump their stock on you just to keep holding their Bitcoin, and so you could be wrong even while being bullish on Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's a good point. And guys, speaking of timing, it's a perfect time for me to remind you guys to hit that like button. Guys, thank you so much for being here. As always, happy Wednesday. Happy November 15th. If you guys are enjoying the content so far and you have not liked the stream yet, please consider just taking one quick moment, making sure you're signed into your YouTube account and hit that thumbs up button for us. It does wonders for the channel. It does wonders for the growth. And the reason that we're able to grow so quickly is because of your guys' continued support and how you guys smash that like button. Furthermore, if you're new here, this is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We do this show Monday through Friday, 5 days a week at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time, and this is the entire cast. You got me, Tucker, Snorlax, Will, and Jackus. It's an hour and a half long alpha dump. We basically just throw as much alpha as we possibly can at you guys. We do reserve about 10%, the real juicy alpha, the execution, for the Discord, which you can find a link to in the description below. Use the code FREEMONTH at checkout if you would like to try that out. Been absolutely killing it lately. I cannot understate how awesome the Discord is. I cannot overstate how awesome the Discord is. But yeah, guys, please consider checking that out. But like the stream, and also please consider subscribing to the channel. I know there's a lot of you that probably come from Twitter, and you're just like, they tweet out the link every day. I don't need to subscribe. I see it. They tweet it out. No. You still got to subscribe. You're missing out if you're not subscribing. So please consider subscribing to the channel. Subscribing is free. The Discord is not free, except for 30 days. But anyways, let's
before we
Tucker, man. Yeah.
Tucker, before we switch subjects from the Bitcoin chart, could we just kick it back for 2 seconds? Unless, I mean, you can cook if it's going to be short, but
you want the chart wheel?
Yeah, because I don't want to steal the chart button. But
one day, Will, one day.
So I made this myself. This isn't like an indicator or anything like that, but it's just how I view the market, right? The accum, the bull, the bear. But the one thing I wanted to point out here, and this is where I get conflicted, right? Like, I love the thesis of gold and the discussion of gold. Like, this is kind of our bull here. But if my expectations are roughly around, we'll be generous. We will be generous. We'll give them 140K, right? Arguably, that would line up with stocks, right? And if my expectations are for stocks to come back down, as they did in 2008, 2009, from the 2000 crash, so on and so forth, then arguably our blow-off top will occur in the same position. The market, I'm not saying it'll pull back to here, but the market will pull back just as it did here on stocks. Stocks may form a lower low. Bitcoin will more than likely form a higher low, which means Bitcoin will show strength against SPY ultimately, as it typically has. And gold will just be on this rampage, right? Gold will be on this rampage. And so I get conflicted in here as far as like which one is it really trying to follow here as far as gold or stocks, because I would expect if it does follow gold in that aspect, then there's no pullback, right? It's going to send. And I think this is what everybody's going to be calling for. And I just don't think that that's what's going to happen. Right? I think that we're going to top out much earlier than expectations of price appreciation upside. And then beyond that, we'll end up getting our normal pullback, our normal market, and then our breakout later, right? And that breakout will also occur with stocks, breakout over here, and then, we get our move up, move back down, and our move back up in a big way over here somewhere, right? But ultimately, the other thing too that I've noticed with Bitcoin, and then I'll be done here in just a second, is that, and a lot of people haven't looked at this, but since the inception of Bitcoin, Bitcoin's been up and then slowly but surely has been curving. And I like to call this the diminishing return effect, right? Now, does it mean that Bitcoin goes to zero? Well, there are those speculators who think it does. I like to point to Tesla because Tesla did a very similar move. And what I think it does is it pulls back into a range, right? That range could be here, it could be up here. Basically, it's the curve effect that pulls into the bounce effect, right? I like these plays a lot. Tesla's one of those ones that does it epically. I can come over here and show you on Tesla real quick. Basically, the same area where we had a similar scenario happen, where everybody thought it was over for Tesla, and Tesla just did exactly that. And that's the curve effect right down here, right, where you started to curve, and everybody thought that Tesla was going to come back, and then Tesla took the price range back into the previous range right here, of all the way over here in 10, and then ran up with it, right? And then did the same thing over here, the curve effect, pulled back into the range, and then ran up again. And then arguably is doing the same thing up here, and this is why I love Tesla, and pulling back into the range. And I think that this whole thing ends up doing the same thing in the curve effect again, right? So these are patterns that I tend to try to not fade, because they're like half circles in the rip, half circle in the rip, half circle in the rip. And this is arguably what I would say like Bitcoin is on its first leg of, is half circle in the rip. Now, do I know where rip goes? No, I don't. I know limited supply, yada yada, all the normie stuff. But arguably, maybe Bitcoin pulls much deeper than what people think at some point, and then it has that bounce effect. But I just want to point that out. The other thing is too, just a little bit of shell accumulation range. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. There are highs and there are lows in that range, but for me, this is the thing I pay attention to the most when I'm looking at these bull bears. Your bears basically typically, and you can see the size. Look, I literally copied these over. It's a year. It's a year drawdown every single time. It's literally like clockwork. Look, boom, bounce. Boom, bounce. Over here, boom, bounce. And people think it's still over. They have no clue. They literally have no clue. Accumulation range, accumulation range, accumulation range, and look at your upside after every accumulation range. Boom, upside, boom, and arguably upside, boom. That's what I'm looking at. But you can go ahead with CLK. I just want to throw that out there. Just some food for context.
Yeah, no, I've I've moved on already. I'm on ETH now, man. I'm scoping something out here.
He said I moved on already.
Yeah,
he's like, screw that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think CLSK can probably run to $5 by the end of the year, and some options could be nice for that for end of January $5 strike. There's some alpha for the boys, but no, I'm prospecting ETH. Here, I'll just delete these for a second. So, I mean, here's your volume profile, right? This is what I was talking about in our Discord call earlier. Right now, it looks like an underside retest, right? Which would not be great if we turn around here, but that's not my bias at this point, right? I think you have a deviation bruv here, and I think you possibly have a deviation bruv right there. So I think there's possibly a play to be made, right? Just taking it back to
the touch of that POC would be good.
Yeah, I mean, you could shave some at the POC, but I mean,
I'm saying like I would actually be bullish if it came back up and touched the POC.
I mean, I think if you just reclaim this low, and we closed a 4-hour inside it, right? And we're kind of back testing whatever, but yeah, I think if you get this 4-hour maybe sucked up a little bit back above 2015, I think that's a send it signal. Because I think Bitcoin looks good, and if I think Bitcoin looks good, I think ETH is, just looking at ETH BTC, I think ETH is probably going to outperform. Let's see here. Oh, we have a fractal, guys. We have a fractal. Oh, wow. Well, I don't think that's going to play out.
W formation. I mean, it could. That's a W formation low. Like it just means that Bitcoin outpaces.
Yeah, this would be the time, though, right? You've seen the pullback on ETH BTC. If you think this is going to hold, right, this is probably the time to do it. So we had a pretty darn big flush on ETH. So yeah, I think if you reclaim here, you can probably TP1, TP2, and then leave a runner for much higher. But yeah, I think ETH looks pretty good here. I mean, it's an extreme, right? It's either this is like the top and we're about to roll back over, or we're about to reclaim and rip up here. So pretty easy in validation. But yeah, I think we're about to see some ETH rotation potentially. But
when, Tucker, when? It's time, bro.
I know. I want to see this 4 hours sucked up in 3 hours. You could probably get a little more granular. See, look at that. See, that's give me a 90-minute close up at 2020 and send it. But right now that's a little bit ugly, but we'll see. Yeah, I like it though. I think if you close up here, you're gonna rock it, honestly. And I think Bitcoin, let's zoom out a little bit. I mean, Bitcoin, this was literally perfect, right? This was literally perfect.
I do want to point out, Tucker, I'm gonna run here in a minute. I think that Bitcoin's recovery looks really good, but we gotta be careful here. I would say, or at least be cautious, and just make sure that we don't form a lower high here. If we form a lower high and roll back down the trend again, that could mean that we have a deeper pullback than anticipated. So it means that I'm targeting 33K personally if that happens, but which is not a massive pullback in my opinion. But that's what I would say, like, is just to watch this area right here. It needs to recover that high and flip it. If it can't do that, arguably this thing could roll a little bit deeper than what people are expecting, which means that longs that have re-entered will end up getting washed a second time.
Yeah, I'd like to see the I mean, maybe we can pull it
I kind of think they'll rinse the late longs, but I think that the low is going to hold, and then it'll be forbidding. If they,
it could. Yeah, for sure. It could. I'm not betting on the 33K, but I think that would be my target if this were to roll short, right?
Let me pull a Tommy and steal this quick. I think this is your fractal right here, boys.
Where's that from?
That is from
the most bullish chart you could find.
That's from right here.
I'm gonna hop back in on mobile, guys, but I'll be back.
You'll have to pay, Will.
OZ already paid. He's been a community member for years now.
He paid for you, yeah.
He paid for me.
It's that fractal that Jack has posted on Twitter. We've been talking about it on the show for a little bit now. But basically it's right here. This is the fractal. Imagine this, man. You sweep the high. Everybody gets super bullish. Oh my gosh, 50K. Oh, it's over. We still hold the low back to 36. And then up. Yeah.
Sweeping the high would be bullish, Max, for sure. Like if I were to be bullish, I would say sweep the high. If I were to be bearish, I would say you need to see a lower high, right? And it's still not even it's a marginal pullback, right? It's a 33K, it's a 3K move. In comparison to what we've already, accomplished, that's nothing, in my opinion. So either way could play. But yeah, if you got the retest of the high, I would expect the same thing you're showing there, the pullback into the range and then a rip. But if you get the lower high, then I would expect, a pullback into 33K, a massive shakeout for people. And I would say the lowest in at that point you aren't going any deeper.
Yeah, this would be a huge shakeout, man. This would be a huge shakeout. But I actually think it's somewhat likely. And the important thing about something like this happening, it won't be perfect, is it's that you're maintaining the structure here. All right, this is all that matters. Anything that happens,
structure is key.
Anything that happens here doesn't matter. Like nothing here matters as long as you protect the lows. It does not matter. You can monkey around in here for a month. If you're trading on leverage, you might get chopped up. But as long as you maintain that high time frame market structure, things look really solid. And that's what we've been seeing is on the lower time frames. We've been seeing a lot of very aggressive drops like the one we saw yesterday. Very aggressive drop. The timeline starts freaking out. Everybody says it's completely over. And we're in buy the dip territory right now. Like we're in buy the dip territory. And every aggressive drop is basically being propped up and supported. So I think as long as you maintain this high time frame market structure and you really don't lose, I mean, for Bitcoin, it's, you know, it's moving up as we move up, but I mean, 35.5 ish, you know, and you can, even if you drop again, you know, you could do this 36, doesn't matter. It could be a very aggressive drop. It doesn't matter. As long as you protect those lows, don't overcomplicate it.
But I do think that you need to retest highs if you're going to see that move, right? If you don't retest highs, I think it shows weakness, and that the real scary thing that would be here for bulls, the scariest thing would be a lower high and a retest or a pullback in the 33K range. And that's not me being bearish. Like I think the market goes up. Like I'm just saying, like that would be a massive shakeout for people, and I think people would sell thinking we're going back to 30, and you know, it just wouldn't happen at that point. So either one of these scenarios could play, but I think if we're going to see your scenario, then we need to see a sweep of that high at least. If we see a sweep of that high, get ready.
What's the importance of sweeping that high though, Will? Walk us through that. Why does it need to take out that high?
It's not a takeout of the high. It just needs to retest liquidity, right? It needs to find interest in that price zone. That's why lower highs are significant, because lower highs means you couldn't get enough interest to get your price back to previous price, right? And then once they see that they can get price up there, then they bring it back, causing people to become sellers, right? Because for markets to drive, you need retail to sell. And why do you need retail to sell? So you can buy, right? And so what you do is you cause these capitulation events for retail to push into your buys with sells. And so you come back up, you sweep the highs, you get the expectation of higher price, everybody FOMOs in, you sell into them, they then all sell out, and then you buy back into the move again and push it through the resistance. Whereas like
and I would also
lower high.
I would also add, just in the simplest of terms, maintaining market structure to the downside, you also want market structure maintained and respected to the upside.
Yep.
You want to continue to form higher highs. You know, you want higher highs and higher lows. It's that simple, right? There's no need to overcomplicate it. And Will gave a more, you know, granular, complex, you know, sort of look behind the curtain as to like the mechanics of why that is. More of like a liquidity theory, but simplest form, man. You just want to see forward progress. You want the previous lows to be respected, and you want to see us continue to grind higher until an ultimate breakout.
I look at everything, Max, as areas of liquidity, which equal areas of interest, right? And if you can't bring interest, you can't get to that liquidity. And if you can't get to that liquidity, you turn from a markdown to a markup, or a markup to a markdown phase. And so if you can't get to a certain liquidity zone higher, you make the asset cheaper so you can create buyers. And then once you create buyers, then you could swing higher. And this is how markets work in both directions, bear and bull. They if you're trying to create active sellers, you continue to pump extreme amounts of money into the market, get people super buying tops, and then sell into that buying pressure and push it back down. If you're trying to create sellers, then you consolidate high, get patterns that look bearish, and then continue to follow and hold trend to the upside and keep pushing, right? Every pullback, people expect to move to the lows because they've been in a bear for an entire year. So they're scared every single time the price goes back.
Jackus, I want to hear from you, man. You've been a little quiet. You hit that Caspa trade. It's time for you to do some cooking, Jackus.
All right. Let me share the screen
We
here.
can't have a shot. We can't have a shy chef, Jackus. Can't happen.
Oh,
The
so
people
okay.
are hungry. They need you to cook.
And as long as you remain above 30K too, like there's no structure break at all for me. Like unless you
we're
break
talking
both,
like we're talking low time frame here. I mean,
Yeah.
higher time
Higher
frame,
time
you're
frame,
spot on, man.
you
It
have
was like the
it's
QQQ, man. We
influence.
said that QQQ could pull back to 335 and still be in a high time frame uptrend. You
Yep.
know, and it's a very aggressive drop.
It was the same thing with the SPY when we talked about it can go all the way to 4,000. It wouldn't matter because you still have liquidity well below that, and you're still in a bullish uptrend at 4,000. And I said 4,150. I think we swept 4,100, right?
Yep.
And that was the low. And a lot of people they're not willing to recognize that. People think the drives are fake now. They still think they're fake.
All right, Jackus, what you got?
I really like this Russell trade because we talked about this live right here, right at the bottom. And then when we pumped higher, this was, I think, only Discord call, but I talked about we come back to this second gap and then continue higher. And it has proven so. And I especially love it because everyone was flooding Russell that like equities look very bearish and why would anyone buy Russell, right? So if we are bearish on equities, then Russell is gonna go way more. And it was such a like only the minority was buying here. And in hindsight, it's obvious, but this was the trend. And it was only me and JT that talked about this on the spaces as well. There were so many guys just coming at us like, how dare you long Russell here?
There was one particular macro guy that really did not like that you guys were talking about the Russell.
No, it's forbidden, man. So yeah, I think this was very clean range. And as I keep on reminding, you get bullish at range low and you get bearish at range highs. And obviously, depending how you get there. It was the narrative where we just went straight down without any reaccumulation prior to it. So it felt like a no-brainer to me. And once again, it proves that TA doesn't work, right? And I think this really should continue higher over that over some time. And I especially like, what is it? Right here, Russell versus SPX. We talked about this one too. And this big confluence where I think that Russell from here starts outperforming SPX. And also, and I don't really have a I don't have a reason for it, but for some reason, okay, maybe I'm gonna use. For some reason, Euro USD is front running Russell versus SPX, and I have no idea why is that. I'm gonna put it like this.
No, Jackus, you can't just draw lines on the chart and have them work. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, that's forbidden. Right. Look, I still don't know what's the reasoning behind, but there is something to it, right? So like whenever Euro USD bottoms, it's right, actually it's yeah. I don't know, but like it's obvious that they happened around very similar area, right? These two lows, and then you get a deviation below, and then you get a big upside, and then the retest, and you just got it here as well. And I don't know what's that reasoning for it. I find it very interesting. And if we got this upside on Euro USD, it leads me to believe that Russell versus SPX is going to go higher as well. and over the next months and years, which will be interesting to see, especially as everyone's flooding the Russell still. Yeah, regarding Euro USD, just amazing, man, amazing. I talked about both levels ahead. This one was very clean. Look at that, man. There was a confluence of this gap, of this volume gap. And I know, Max, that you say that you want those gaps to be cleaner, right? Like clean gaps
Demand
in the
them
chart.
to be cleaner.
But like this was a clean gap, and then this one served as a support, and then as resistance, and as support once again. And it showed that strong buy. Is it coincidence? I think not. I think no.
I
And
like I like how you brought up the Russell thing there, Jackus. I feel like a lot of people that talk macro have never built a growth portfolio and don't even know what growth is. But go ahead.
Max said, yeah, sorry, I'm laughing about what Max just said to me. And yeah, I agree, Will.
Max, what are you talking? You talking about me? Is that what you're talking about, Max?
No. I sent him something. I'll send it to you too, Will, if you want to see it.
I'm just joking. Don't worry. I'm not self-conscious. You're good.
It's not allowed to say public. But
I can't say it publicly.
Yeah. Man, and I actually talked about this live, right? When we were here on the YouTube market checks right here, I was saying that the Euro USD is at this very point when we are down here, is retesting this 3 months demand zone and the range low, which it has reclaimed. And there will be lots of people that look at this candle and think it's bearish, right? That's clean bearish rejection. But this matters not when it's against higher time frame context, and that's what it had here. It had the range deviation, strong bounce out of support, and then the retest, right? It took all these weekly and monthly lows, and I think that this essentially needs to head higher, and I think these two highs are very exposed. They're very exposed to get taken out. And why am I talking about this? Well, because these two highs is DXY hitting new lows, right? Once we go above these, and I think we do over some period of time, we might spend some time ranging here. I do not know when it happens, like 25, 26, who knows? But I think it goes all the way up here, and that's essentially, for DXY, that's essentially means going below these two lows and then hitting that my longer term target that I think we had to.
There you go.
Right. By the way, I think this is also interesting.
What's your low there, Jackus? What's your low?
It's 84 points for DXY.
Jackus,
I think it goes.
Can you draw a trend line all the way back to 2017?
2017.
Sorry, further. My bad. I thought it was 17 where it ended. 13. Draw a trend line straight up across all those lows.
You mean like this?
Yep. There's your target. You could even draw further down. It goes all the way back. Like so many people they're fading the obvious here. That and it could angle even deeper because it could angle off the bottom one, right? So it could angle deeper.
Yeah, I like this trend line a lot. Well, I think ultimately, this was very strong zone, and I think it heads to its level because there is probably there is also very strong support right here, and
so
it would make sense that the price goes all the way to 80, 81, sort of like there is gonna be if I don't know if it allows me, right? But if I were to draw a point of control,
it could, and the point that I wanted to make though is like people are looking at dollar from the trend line I just gave you, and they're like, oh, it's in a bullish uptrend, so dollar continues up. But they don't realize that you've already got three drives. You got your first drive at the low, you got your second drive at the middle, and you're already working on your third drive. Where are you going to go from here?
Yeah.
You got to come back. You got to come back. You're going to at least retest that second drive low more than likely, which means you're going to come down significantly from where we are right now on the dollar.
Oh, for sure. Also, I really like this one. And nobody, it was pointed to me by one of my followers. I missed it as well myself, but it's a very nice second retest of this broken downtrend, sorry, uptrend. And this looks really like it's gonna roll over. And essentially, I am thinking that we're gonna have this sell off to actually, oh no, like this. I think essentially we go down here, retest this channel, then there is the recession, maybe, like should probably align it more with timing. So like maybe October, November 2022, there is the upside, and we go like this. In my opinion, that's probably gonna be the play. Here you have the big higher time frame range reclaim on this drop lower, and then you get the retest and during the recession, and then you get a further sell-off. And essentially we really have to, in my opinion, come down all the way down here. So yeah, because like this was a temporary channel within the larger downtrend, right? And I think many people miss that. And so yeah, and you also have the confirmation that people forget with the Euro USD, where like Euro USD is very, very clean and should be going above these two highs. So that's your DXY at 80 right here. And also one thing that I was pointing out that many people, and I was pointing that here on these YouTube market checks, is that this is the pound USD, right? They will be moving very similar. And Jesus, someone's racing there.
They're just delivering your Ferrari, Jackus.
Okay. It was about the time. And there is this intermarket divergence with euro and the pound. And I love this. And that was such a clean bullish signal. I was informing about this. That pound is not, it's holding very well, and it's probably not gonna go below while Euro USD was trading below. And it was really only a matter of time before the DXY rolls over. And now we are already beginning this bigger move where pound USD is going above these highs as well. Look at those equal highs. So it's gonna ramp up all the way up there. So that's your bullish case for the risk on, right? It's a bullish case for BTC and so on when you have bearish dollar.
Yeah, I think people don't realize too, like when dollar goes below $1, you're for every cent that you go below, you're losing against inflation by that amount, right? And so many people just don't understand that aspect. Honestly, I would say you're probably in the negatives on a bigger number than like whatever our top was to whatever you are below. If it's 30 cents and it's 30%, whatever. But like a lot of people don't understand that you have to be positioned in these markets if you have any type of net worth or are looking to build any type of net worth. Otherwise, inflation is just going to eat you alive as that dollar decays on value.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking of things since Joe, especially Joe, man. Joe beats us into my head consistently because I tend to forget, and it helps. Definitely helps me get grounded. And when I say Joe, I'm talking about Joe Carlson for the audience. Is the basically inflation adjusted, right? You always got to look at your assets from like an inflation adjusted standpoint. which is basically stating that, you know, your asset needs to be beating inflation. So if you're in an losing asset for 6 months to a year, you've been underwater against inflation, and now you got to play catch up with it, and that's not good.
Yeah. I think. Okay, fuck silver today. I'm really liking this. This is the play, guys, that we had over in the BB Discord privately, and I was saying that I was making the case on Friday the 10th, and I was saying that we gonna pull back and retest this zone where there was a strong bid in, that we probably gonna retest it one more time, and then it heads higher. It's gonna like fill in this week and then go higher. So this was a very good trade we have done, and it made 35-40% on this move in just a few days. And I'm taking partial profits here because I was riding this long all the way up here. I took big profits, then I rebought here, so just slightly higher, and I'm taking partial profits and letting the rest run. And we'll see. This structure now is your big support. This is your big support. It can go all the way down here, or like generally this place. So I do think that we possibly now come back and retest it, but it's a nice structure and the buys are very low. So I do like that one. Yeah. Okay, let's cover up silver, guys. Silver is silver is just playing as we want it, right? I'm gonna maybe pull out this chart, and we talked about how 23.5 is super important for the market, and that we probably see a pullback into this weekly demand zone, newly created demand zone that was just created. So first, we are expecting or counting with the possibility that it drops all the way down here where it should bounce. It has created a new demand zone. It returned to it as well. They tested the range low, and now it's pumping. And now comes the funny part. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touch of this crucial level, right? It's the third one on the retest. And well, this one doesn't hold. And by the way, we were buying down here just 3 days ago, and it's already made great returns. And the best part is that this was also shared privately, and the best part is that this breaker is the most important one. The moment we flip it, it leads to the cascade of things where we flip it and then we head above these highs. The moment we flip those, we have made another macro higher high, because this is the structure, right?
Hey, Jackus, not to cut you off or anything like that, but I saw something else that needed flipped, and I think it was something called the like button on the video. If we can get some flips to the upside on the like button on the video, that would be greatly appreciated. And for the audience there, Max, I think we should give them throw them a bone again. Do we have that free 1 month? Is that still available for the audience?
We do, man. We definitely do. I can throw that up on the bottom, man. There she is. Guys, let's just do the full round right now. Let's just do the full round. Wait, we have 69 likes. Nobody else liked the stream. All right. Nobody is allowed to like the stream. We are at 69 likes. Do not like the stream anymore. We have plenty of likes. But guys, please consider subscribing to the channel. This is Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We go live Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time with this full cast that you are looking at right here. Furthermore, if you like what you've seen, if you've made some money off of trades and stuff that we've been talking about, ideas, you would absolutely love the Discord. The link to sign up to that is becausebitcoin.com/premium. It is also the first link in the description below. If you use the code that's going across the bottom of the screen, it's free month. While you're checking out, you get 30 days for free. We've been hitting some absolute, just banger trades. Just truly epic trades. And again, we share a lot of alpha here, but we do reserve, that juicy last remaining 10%, like the target play that we gave out. That's just printing today. We saved that just for the Discord. So consider giving it a try. You get 30 days for free. So really no risk. We'll not charge your card for 30 days. And if you don't like it, you can cancel. But I have a feeling a lot of you guys will like it. But anyways, let's kick it back to Jackus.
Well, real quick, what's the value proposition of one free month? Isn't that like giving away $150?
Yeah, it's basically giving away $150. And it's actually giving away a lot more than that. Man, everybody's up a bunch since they've joined. So it doesn't cost anything, and you'll make more than $150 most likely. So, it's a good deal. It's a very good deal. Maybe a little too good of a deal. I don't know. The more I'm thinking about it, target play has me reconsidering a lot of things. But yeah, guys, code free month at the bottom if you want to try that out. Look at that compression, Jackus.
I love those plays. I love those.
Yeah. Gold is going way higher, guys.
Looks like Caspa, brother.
It does. It
does.
And people fail to see that. They do. And this is what we are talking about, right? It does make sense. My target is anything 6 to 8K, and then anything above that, is good. But think about this, guys. Okay, let me quickly find it here.
Well, this goes back to what we were talking about too, Jackus, where we continue to see price retest the high, and they continue to find interest in that price zone. And as long as they continue to find interest, eventually it's going to break through. It's just how this thing works. But go and continue.
Yep. I want you guys to see this, right? Oh, shit. Okay. Like this. So this is your market cap of assets. There is no oil inside because that's the highest market cap asset in the world. But look at this. Gold at these prices, okay, at let's say $2,000 is sitting at 3 trillion. And Bitcoin at current prices is sitting at 700 billion. Okay, so that's zero. Let's do the math here, guys, because just like with ETH-BTC, I think people are missing the bigger picture. Right, so gold, these are not unrealistic numbers. These are very realistic ones that we will do here. So if these are the current current market capitalizations. So if we do expect that gold is doubling, tripling in price, let's say very conservatively, it goes to $6,000. I think that's very conservative take considering how much central bankers are accumulating gold right now. So that's basically 40 trillion, right? At $6,000. Right here. And we expect that BTC is at some point in future, I'm not saying this market cycle, but it's going to start appreciating until it becomes the most valuable market cap asset at some point in the future. So let's assume that by the end of this decade, okay, that's my decade of commodities, BTC is gonna take, let's say fucking quarter, because lots of people are calculating the BTC market cap how it's gonna take the gold's market cap at the current prices. What I don't understand is that gold is gonna, double, triple, or so, and that's gonna make the market cap of gold way higher. And that at that point, that means that you need to calculate future market cap of BTC compared to that, right? So let's assume that we only take 1/4 of gold's market cap by end of 2030. In my opinion, that's very realistic. So at the current prices, that's 0.7 billion. Let's say that it goes to 1/4. That's 10 trillion market cap for BTC. 1/4 of this, right? By end of the decade. That's 10 trillion. And what is 10 trillion? Well, just do the numbers here, right, guys? Just do the numbers here. If we are at 0.7, calculate 0.7, or let's do 10t divided by 0.7, and that's around 14 times from the current prices. If I go back to BTC, 14 times from the current prices. Where does that lead us? 14 times, right? That's around $500,000 for BTC by end of 2030. And this is very realistic. If we take into account that, for example, BTC goes half of the gold market capitalization, then that's 1 million, right? And we'll see. But I think these, it makes lots of sense from very logical data. It's not just like some hopium saying, "Hey, BTC is gonna go to 1 million because laser eyes," or something. I think this is very realistic that this price appreciation for gold is going to unfold, and I think everyone should keep this one in mind.
What about ETH? Where does ETH fall on that ranking?
I haven't done the calculation, but I would expect that ETH is gonna do double on ETH BTC chart in that time frame. So that's basically, if we were calculating, let's say approximately 1,000 or like 14 times, 14x for BTC. If we were calculating or we want ETH, right? So let's calculate double. So we calculate 28x from the current prices. That's approximately $60,000 ETH.
Jeez, man. Jeez.
It is what it is. I wonder how Sol is gonna play out. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know if Sol is gonna stay here. I think Sol will have the ADA cycle of the past, but look what happened with Cardano, right? I mean, I doubt it. I do not think this goes to new all-time high anytime soon. It went too deep. It needed to hold, and it did not. So that's my case for Sol. It will depend in the future whether it when it goes for its bull market and hits new all-time high, how does it behave after in the future bear market, right? Does it go something like ETH, right? Because ETH looks very solid here, guys. ETH went through the bear market, went into a bull, and went higher, and now only retested. Look at that. Look at that perfect monthly demand retest confluent with prior all-time high. This is very good. This is very good for another, bull market in the future and stay here. It's the same also on the BTC pair, right? It's holding well. It's not trending towards the bottom right corner. It went through its bear market, but it's holding very strong. And this is something what I would love to see from Sol in the next cycle. And I do not know how that's gonna play out. Nobody knows. We will have to simply see. I know that I'll be selling Sol in this area, right? 600 Sol makes sense to me. So I will be selling in that price area from anything to 260 to 600, I would say. And then maybe it goes, way higher, but I'm pretty confident that when the bear market comes after, wherever it goes, right, it needs to hold here. It cannot go back down. So yeah, that will be thing to discuss. But I think like Ether, right? If you go back to Ether, it had its first bull market, it had bear market, it had another bull market, and it's gonna have another bull market. And in my opinion, this is a sign that ETH is here to stay, and it's gonna appreciate. And then going to ETH BTC, then I think the moment it starts unfolding my hard time fund plan, I don't know, this one, then it can easily move like this. It can easily move like this, and that
looks like the gold chart on log.
It actually looks more like silver chart, and because gold is on log chart, gold is doing this, right? Whereas silver on log chart is doing this, which is this one. I'll show you maps. And it's always these higher beta plays that wait, I will have to. Oh man.
Jackus, I want to present to you something even more interesting than the ETH chart. And I want you to entertain it if you can.
Oh, shit. Wait. Yeah, go for it.
BNB BTC. I feel like so many people talk about it, man, but they don't talk about BNB BTC. They just talk about BNB and how it's going to collapse. And if you're going to say Ethereum's here to stay, look at BNB.
Wait 1 sec.
You get where I'm going with that, right?
I do. 1 sec. Okay. Because we have already, I was already sharing this chart in the BB Discord. And we were discussing it here as well. And I think, right now we are super oversold. And as you say, we will be, everyone's talking about the Binance collapse, but I think this one is holding. We will have probably, that prior to the next altcoin bull market, you'll probably have some shakeout, and then so like the accumulation range forms here. I don't know exactly how it looks like. This is just a layout, right? So what I'm saying with these squigglies is, I'm saying 3 things. A, right? And you hear it here first. A as a accumulation, M as manipulation, and then D as distribution, right? And this is what I expect to unfold over the next 2 years in the BNB chart on the BNB BTC pair. And it's good, Will, that you actually mention the BTC pair, because very little people look at that. Very little people look at the alternative pairs, and I remember, man, like back in time, and I love those days way more. People looked at only like the BTC pairs, and the BTC pairs were the main instrument. So like everyone was holding Bitcoin, accumulating more Bitcoin, and we were trading the BTC pairs. Now BTC pairs has no liquidity, and it's only like we can watch them but not really trade them, and nobody really cares anymore, unfortunately. But those were the days, man. Look to outperform BTC. Yeah, so going quickly back to gold, guys. I need to align this. I think we are ahead of a major breakout here on gold, especially that you know, the central bankers are accumulating bigly. And there's lots of things about gold why it's gonna move higher, and I just like there's no bear case in my opinion on gold. There's no bear case.
That's an incredible looking chart.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're getting into time, Jackus. Anything else you got before we wrap up?
I think that's it for today, Max. We can leave something for the other days, right?
Yes, sir. All right, guys, we're going to say goodbye then. Thank you guys so much for being here, as always. This is Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, guys. Again, we are live Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern time with the cast that you are looking at right now. It's over an hour and a half each episode of just pure alpha dumping. So please subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for always supporting us, just as we are always here for you guys. Please like the video. And then furthermore, we talked about it a bunch today. I'd love to get some more of you guys in there. We have been absolutely killing it in the private BB Discord lately. We hold back certain alpha, certain charts, certain plays that we don't talk about here on YouTube that we share just with the Because Bitcoin community. The most recent one was Target. We're up 300% on those calls since taking them in the Discord, and I think they have a lot more to go. So if you guys want to try that out, 30 days for free, you can check out that link in the description below. It is becausebitcoin.com/premium. Again, it's the first link in the description below. And if you want 30 days for free, I'm going to put up that code at the bottom. Use code free month at checkout for 30 days free. Again, it will not charge your card. You can try it for 1 month for free. And if you don't like it, you can cancel, but I have a feeling you are going to like it quite a bit. We do over an hour a day, like mostly like an hour and a half a day of private voice calls with the entire Because Bitcoin community. We share all of our active positions and, again, premium analysis and setups that we are not talking about here on YouTube. I know you guys probably saw a lot of comments today. People are having some fun. A lot of people on their free trials right now have already paid for like a year's worth of memberships because we've been giving out some absolute bangers lately in the Discord. So guys, please consider checking that out. Again, it's the first link in the description below. And if you want a free month, use code free month moving across the bottom of your screen. Again, just one more reminder, please like the video and also subscribe if you have not, so you can be made aware of when we go live every single day. I'm going to kick it over to Tommy, and he will give us the final send-off. Tommy?
Thanks, Max, and thanks again, guys. Make sure to tune in for Market Talk with King Wabi at 4:15, 4:30 Eastern time, usually when we get started, unless our Discord call in the afternoon goes a little bit late. But make sure to check out the Discord. Like Max said, it is free, and we have been killing it lately. But that's all from us, guys. I will see you, or we will all see you this afternoon for Market Talk, as well as tomorrow for another episode of Market Check. Thanks again. Yeah, and y'all stay safe. Happy Wednesday.